what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Visual Effects Artist React. Today's a very special one because we've got Todd Vaziri here on the couch today. Todd is a current ILM employee. He's been working there for like 22 years. He's worked on almost every single movie that you've loved. The helicopter was actually there?
The helicopter's actually there.
So wow, wait, that's a lot of elements.
We're gonna have some great stories today.
Everything behind these soldiers is synthetic at this point.
That's so cool.
I'm very happy to continue to hopefully inspire the next generation the way I was inspired by the folks ahead of me.
Wait, how did the camera get behind his face?
Where did the camera go? How did the camera do this?
Every iconic shot of like the past 20 years is you. Ooh, Mission Impossible.
Welcome back, brother.
I.
Ethan, move!
That was a perfect case to camera shot.
Hold on, you said that perfect case to camera shot?
Yeah, sorry. All right, okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
If you ever make a film, there's gonna be one shot that you probably have to do where somebody's gonna drop something or slide something and it needs to land in just the right spot. You need to pull focus. And you're gonna quickly discover that that's the hardest shot you ever have to get in your entire project. And so I caught it here because that case, it slides perfectly right into frame. It stops, it's in focus. Like, that's like a 300 take shot, potentially. But what I'm gathering here is that that's a CGI case.
It's a real case, but it's a visual effect shot. To get it to move just the right way and to have it framed the right way, I had to splice together various takes and put them together. It's a visual effect.
It was too good to be true.
And
The
an
magic
innocuous shot that hopefully nobody's even thinking of, that's an
No
effect
one,
shot.
I guarantee you, no one has thought about that case shot being an effect shot.
Yep.
Yeah, but I can see the artistry. Oh, boom. Oh yeah, iconic. That was in every single trailer.
Again, yeah, never tell me that this is going to be a big part of your marketing because I do not need that added pressure. And thankfully, I only realized it after we finalized the shot. This is probably like 10 or 12 major pieces of photography that we put together. Brian Cantwell was our layout supervisor on this one, and we were like, how are we going to do this? It's the camera's on a dolly, moving backwards, and all the multiple passes were filmed with the grips doing their best to mimic the last pass they did with Tom. Tom was the Bible of the shot.
He was on wires, right?
He was on wires, and he got moved. It is a stunt that a seasoned stunt performer would be extremely proud of. And then the full-scale explosion of the car back there was another element. There was the car on the right whose windshield explodes. And then there were other elements as well. So it was very difficult to put all this stuff together and make it a cohesive camera move. So,
The helicopter was actually there?
the helicopter's actually there. So pause it right there and feel my pain.
Oh no. Wow, wait, that's a lot of elements.
So they built a stereo camera rig with overlap so that we can basically have two motion picture cameras going at the same time. So I would have two pieces of negative to work with.
Okay.
Which is wonderful. It's great for fidelity. These also have to get now seamed together. And if you look carefully, Tom goes across the seam. And I had to,
my God, I didn't know.
and the explosion goes across the seam.
I didn't know
and
that.
You could see the dolly tracks, you could see the sandbags, you could see the pads and everything like that. So this was a real tricky shot to put together.
This looks like a nightmare.
And I'm really glad that you noticed the suitcase in that shot.
Yeah,
kicked
because
up.
it gets kicked up by the explosion.
Because a grip on set puppeteered that suitcase. had a rod and a bunch of wires going down on it, and he just kind of went, okay, 3, 2, 1, boom, and he kind of puppeteered it. And then I added all the dust and all the thing. I extended his movement, but having that perspective change on the suitcase, it makes for a better shot.
Yeah, it's crazy they filmed basically two cameras to give you the widescreen.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, you're just like, oh, just grab your 12K digital camera.
Right. Different story now. Oh, and if you look at this in the trailer, the timing on the trailer was slightly different. They wanted the UAV to go fly by earlier. So I had to make a special trailer version of this shot because it was cut way shorter.
Thor's eye patch.
It's hard. It's hard. And then your scripts get all messed up. Wait, was this the trailer version, or I did this thing for the trailer, I wanted to use it for the final. Yeah, stuff like that.
If you thought what Tom Cruise does is dangerous, just take a look at your own diet. Dean, I'm talking to you. Put away the taquitos. You think you're getting your nutrition from that?
Well, yeah, it's got like cheese.
Oh, Cover all your bases with today's sponsor, AG1. AG1 is a daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. Dude, prebiotics, probiotics, and plant-based enzymes help support digestion, regularity, and overall gut health. Look at this. D3 plus K2. Have you even heard of that before?
No, dude, I eat taquitos all day.
There's so much you don't have in you.
Oh my God.
Open up. Legitimately, I do this every morning.
Do you really?
Me and my wife do this every single morning. Here you go. Oh, who's hungry? Sorry, I didn't mean to make it weird. I'm sorry. Okay, great. Look at that. Now your D3 and K2 is taken care of for the day. And look at the sheer quantity of supplements that are involved in this. You're getting 467% of your vitamin C. And what's amazing is it's such a fine powder that you don't even need a mixer of any kind. You just pour it in with some water, shake it up, and it's done.
So you do this every morning?
This is how I start my morning. And honestly, it tastes great too, I promise. What do you think? Honest reaction.
That's actually really good.
I know, right? It's genuinely surprising.
You want to start with having a good diet, but this is going to support everything you're doing.
Yeah,
you know.
And honestly, when you make the right choice at the beginning of the day, it weirdly makes the rest of the choices throughout the day easier because you're already off to a good start. So put away the taquitos. Weird breakfast choice.
You know what? After drinking this, I don't want those taquitos anymore, man.
We're healing people, baby. It's the AG1 way. This guy's so excited. He's alive again.
Dude, I genuinely feel.
I know. I know. That's what I'm telling you. It's legit.
I feel great.
Never seen
This is-
Taquito Dean like that.
Seriously. Taquito Dean is dead. But if you use the link down in the description down below, you get a free year supply of that sweet vitamin D3 K2, 5 to-go packets. You get this sweet container for all your powdery greeny needs, and the bottle that Athletic Dean is holding right now. All of this is free with your first purchase if you use the link in the description down below. Now let's get back to React.
This is the first time I saw CGI that was like right in front of my face that was photorealistically perfect. God, this sequence is so awesome. Is that you?
I'm here to make Wren happy.
That every iconic shot of like the past 20 years is you.
I think that's what I said when I got turned over the shot. How am I going to do this? Now, you want to talk about a magic trick here. This is a plate-based shot. That helicopter is there
I was about to say.
for the first half of the shot, except for the rotors on top. We completely replaced that. When we dolly across that Hummer and get revealed, everything behind the soldiers is synthetic.
Wow,
at this point.
that's so cool.
Because I'm like, I want to keep as much of the photography as possible. So that's all my synthetic stuff.
That's insane. It's so much work.
All the volumetrics I had to do myself because we wanted to have this end be smoky and weird with all the muzzle flashes and all the firing going on. All the signature anamorphic Michael Bay flares had to sit there and it had to be real, but they could not obscure the very expensive animation that Scott Benza and Keiji Yamaguchi did. Jeff Greeby lit this, David Histanaga did some effects. All the spark events I laid out in After Effects, the ones that are hitting the ground are stage elements.
Okay,
And there's
yeah.
like some cheaty reflections in there. They're really cheeseball. And then those soldiers are just still frames that I.
In the background there?
Yeah, and I added muzzle flashes to them.
They're just like this, but the muzzle flash is going.
Listen, they are soldiers. They know what to do. No flinching. Transforming a helicopter means nothing to them.
The most unflinching of soldiers.
Yeah, this is the first one we did, and when we got this one done, we were like, okay, I think we could do this movie.
You guys weren't psyched after this? You were like, heck yes, this is rad.
Amazing team effort on this one. Beth D'Amato was in charge of paint and roto on this movie, and she did an amazing job.
Ooh, let's go. Just from one banger to the next.
The vast majority of the movies of visual effects were done by VFX down in New Zealand. Incredible job, all the creatures and stuff like that. When things are getting near the end of production, Frame Store and Industrial Light and Magic were brought in to handle shots like this, these vehicle shots. That was the first shot I ever did in Nuke.
Is there no union here for them flying that close together?
It's a very
surely
long
that's a safety
lens.
hazard.
It's a very long lens. When you shoot with long lenses, it compresses. But again, it's a movie, and you do some really fun stuff in movies. John Knoll was at the helm. Jim and John go way back. They have a language all their own. They communicate on the same level.
Wow.
This is
a video game
Just the
cinematic
raw
version.
renders against the raw
With no
painting.
Okay, wow.
That's
so this
like
is
what
your
I
starting
get.
point. This is
That's
what I was
what I
talking
get.
about. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, you imported the render, you imported the background, and you hit play for the first time. You're like, time to do my work.
This is so inspiring because in a way it's so approachable. Here's your Unreal Engine render, so to speak.
Right. I mean,
And it's like it's
and the
pretty.
lighting is amazing. It's beautiful. It feels big.
It's
the
pretty,
textures.
but it does look like a really high-end video game render until all the lens and the phase and the fog and the secondary motion. And it's like now it's life. I'm not trying to discount the 3D animation lighting. It's amazing.
I
But
would
it's
never.
still-
I want the most beautiful renders that I hardly have to do anything on. Please give me the most beautiful renders. Yeah, this is the God rays and the volumetrics. I did it in the comp to have the most of control. So you see these extremely subtle, not God rays, anti-crepuscular rays.
Bless you.
As Jim Cameron would correct us on. Anti-crepuscular rays, where you're occluding light in an environment with lit atmosphere.
This is effectively all the shadows.
Yeah,
The shadows in the air around the vehicles.
that's right.
So cool.
Jeez.
So cool.
So you're seeing the soot,
Wow.
you're seeing the heat distortion, you're seeing the glows and the flares. I believe Yannick Dassault did the background here, which is a bunch of paintings. Tom Fetus did the lighting on all the ships. Put all that together with some flares and some glaring, and well, what's really great is that later, John Knoll told me after we finally, he's like, that was some really good looking heat repellents, probably the best we've ever done at ILM. And I'm just like,
Mission
awesome.
accomplished.
oh my gosh, this is really happening right now. So
Okay, now remember, blue is glue. And when it's red, dead.
All right, so now we're taking a look at Mission Impossible 4, The Protocols of Ghost.
this was my first movie as compositing supervisor.
Oh.
It was an incredible thrill to be asked to come to this movie for John Knoll and Brad Bird, who is one of my heroes.
Is this a real shot?
This
a
is
one long
photography.
Okay.
This is photography with a massive amount of manipulation to allow Tom Cruise to do this stunt safely.
Where are the wires holding him up? Are they going up to the left side of
Oh.
him and crossing across his hair?
Yeah, they're filling frame here on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm just looking at all these
Yeah.
places where there have to be wires, but we don't see them.
Right.
And also navigating where the camera is going so that it doesn't actually hit the wires
Bank
either.
and bonk into them, yeah. A sequence like this, it's like, okay, well, great, wires. Wires against his face, wires against his costume, against his hair, and against the skyline. Okay.
Wires in the chrome reflection.
Yeah, those reflect. And you know what? Those areas reflect the other areas that are reflecting. And then you've got the mirror of this. And it's not a perfect mirror. It's like a double image because you're seeing a reflection of the
I
front of
see
the
it.
mirror and
you
the
can see
back
it on
of the
his
mirror.
hand there. There's like
Yeah.
a double layer there.
So these shots are hard.
Yeah, you're not painting out one wire, you're painting it out, and you're painting out the reflection, but you're painting out in the reflection of the reflection, and you're
reflection.
painting out in the
Such
curves.
a long shot.
Right. It's an extraordinary achievement on all levels, from a shot design standpoint, from a performer, from rigging, lighting, camera, visual effects. Trevor Hazel was in charge of paint roto for this. This also required a lot of compositing. This shot was done by Jen Howard. Did an amazing job.
What the hell is that?
I composited 20 quadrillion ants into this shot. Long story.
Wait, how did the camera get behind his face?
Where did the camera go? How did the camera do this? This is
Wait, oh my God, I did this whole ant sequence and I never thought about that once.
There's a window that camera moved through.
so. This is on a partial set piece in Vancouver. He's 20 feet off the ground, and some of the sky is the real Vancouver sky. On the flip side is a blue screen. We are looking at the beginning of the shot into the set piece of the reflective window into a blue screen. So that's all synthetic back there. Mark Nettleton did an amazing job on this shot. As the camera swings around, the window is removed so that
okay.
the camera can swing around and get in over the shoulder of Tom.
Wow.
So that's a real reflection right there. It's not a.
That's a real reflection of Tom, but not of Dubai.
Okay.
Because we're in Vancouver, that's where the camera is. You know how you do that stuff? You get really talented artists like Mark Nettleton to do them for you. And he killed this shot.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
So another movie that Brad Bird directed is Tomorrowland, and you worked on this one quite a bit as well, right?
That's right.
I heard that this was the hardest shot you ever had to do.
Honestly, they're all hard. They're all hard. But the most complicated was probably this one coming up.
Check me out. Whoa.
So a complicated shot. There's a lot of elements, and it broke our brains, particularly from a layout point of view and environments. The thing about that shot is that it's the boy. He's on a turntable. He's flat-footed. He's just standing. And there's a grip kind of moving him around. He's being filmed with 2 cameras simultaneously.
Oh. To get like the angle on the opposite side of the window?
Right. There's another camera that's getting his reaction, his reflection. So from a layout point of view, the first thing, of course, you have to do is flop that image. It also means you have to match move both images because we are attaching.
Oh, the camera's moving.
Camera's moving. Boy's moving. The camera and the boy are moving slightly differently in the plates. Then we have to project him into the reflection. We have to put CG thrusters and stuff underneath him. From his jeans down, that's CG. Everything we do in the foreground has to be similar to the background. In addition, he's wearing a leather jacket, but he's moving at incredible speeds. We need to make the jacket ruffle. It was not ruffling on set, so we have to add this little distortion on his
So is that
jacket.
like a 2D distortion?
That's a 2D distortion.
Okay.
And dialing it just right was so hard. When he emerges and we see the city in the background, your eye is to go to the gorgeous, amazing, utopian environment of Tomorrowland.
And we miss a little sleight of hand in the foreground.
And you
don't we?
miss the fact that I used him going into the sun to wipe on a fully digital double of him. And using the light. It was the perfect split line.
What I love is that like when he pops out, it's literally just a cut. Like it looks like it's just
It looks like a cut.
cut.
It's like a 3-frame wipe.
Is it a 3-frame? Okay. But it works so well. You don't even notice because the new light comes in.
Yeah.
It would look different anyway, and your brain just accepts that it's
Yep.
a new thing, but it's the same kid, even though it's not.
But it also shows you how incredibly accurate our match move and matchmation had to be, because if
Yeah.
you look directly at the jetpack or his helmet or whatever, all that stuff has to match. Then we had the interesting problem of rendering the leather jacket. Well, do we do a wind simulation on that?
Oh, yeah.
Or will it
Just keep doing the same warble?
Or will it look weird next to the 2D warble? So we did a 2D warble on the CT jacket.
Yeah.
Which
That's the
you
call I would
shouldn't
have
do.
advised. Yeah.
You probably shouldn't do, but we did it for continuity of
Yeah.
movement. I really wanted the camera shake to feel like if the wind forces were different when they were right next to the building and then they emerged into, let's say, a different pressure system, the camera recovers.
Yeah.
I tried to build that in there.
That's really nice.
It's a cool balance. You can see there's a lot of ingredients in the shot. So Enrico Dam was the environment artist on this one. He did such an incredible job. Gave me tons and tons of passes.
So when we ask for people to leave comments, usually it's suggesting a scene or a movie or something like that. I would love some comments for guests that you'd like to have on the show. People you'd like to see joining us on the couch to talk to.
Todd, where can we hear more about what you want to talk about with movies?
Go to my website. Everything's there at tvaziri.com. Our ILM website is amazing, ilm.com.
Yep.
Tons of film history there. And just watch a lot of movies, folks. Just watch a lot of movies. They're great.
And thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.